And for majority of people, you're thinking about body goals, six packs, losing weight, maybe life goals, getting a new job, rethinking your life, changing locations, new relationship, and all this thing. I totally understand that this is something that we have to think about. I totally get it that sometimes we believe this is what we're supposed to do because we've done it year after year. But here's the thing. Is this something we have to do year after year, or is this something that you just been doing every year? And how many of those have you actually accomplished? For a majority of people, not very much of it, because statistically, it's been scientifically proven that most people drop the New Year resolution after about 6 weeks, average. A lot of people way earlier, and some people maybe a bit later. So I'm making this video to give you a bit of a framework when it comes to your body goal, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to the gym. So I thought I'm just going to make this entire video about fitness framework that you can use to accomplish this goal, whatever you choose. Maybe you want to lose weight, want to gain some muscle, become stronger, whatever it is that you want to do. I want to make this specific video about that. How to accomplish all those goals and how you can just show up at the gym, your local gym, or start from home. And all this thing that is going to go through your mind, because if you haven't been to the gym before, or you haven't been for a long time, or if you're kind of person that's been going for years and you're not getting any result at all, this is the kind of thing people think about. And I don't normally talk about fitness too much over the past few years, but I'm trying to make sure that this one is specific for you. So if you're going to be thinking about a New Year resolution to do with body goal, this is the content for you. So stick around to the end of this video and you're not going to be disappointed. Number one, you need to find clarity. See, the thing is, most of the time, we do things because we've been doing it for a long time. And for majority of people, we don't know what we're doing it. We're just doing it. So you wake up in the morning, you did something random, and you thought, okay, that's what we do. Most people wake up in the morning on Monday morning, anxiety, fear, because that's what we do. Just like the New Year resolution. That's what we do. Make a new resolution. But why are you doing it? Why? So you need to find that clarity that's connected to something in your life that is more meaningful. Because the same rush you get in January with all these new promises you're going to be making to yourself, that you're going to end up disappointing yourself. This is what's creating all those anxiety, all those fear, because you can't trust yourself, because all those promises you made in the past, you ended up giving up a couple of weeks later, months later. And why do you do that? Because it's not connected to something that's meaningful, that's going to make you doing it beyond the initial dopamine boost. So what's your clarity? Why are you doing it connected to something more meaningful beyond just, I want to lose weight? Figure that out, whatever it is. And once you find that clarity, number two, with the clarity, we move to the next one, which is simplicity. Everything that you do that's not simple in the way you execute them, in the way you think about them when you're about to do them or when you're doing them, you're 100% guaranteed to quit. It's almost an absolute. I know in science there's no absolute, but it's almost guaranteed that you are going to stop doing it because it's going to get more tiring, because it's going to be stressing you out every single time you think about doing them, because they're not simple. Say, for example, getting up in the morning for some people is very stressful, especially on a Monday morning. Why? Because they believe that they have to do 1,000 things every single time they wake up. because they haven't simplified the process of getting up in the morning methodically, systematically. That's going to make what they're supposed to do like a muscle memory, something like a routine, quite just zero amount of energy to execute. And since all those steps are not there, they ended up just getting up like, another day. I don't want to wake up today. I don't want to wake up tomorrow. Because you're stressed about what's going to come next. Because you just do them at random. So find simplicity. And how do you find simplicity? Well, the first clarity you find, this is the way I do it, the same thing for myself. In my life, every single thing I do them in such a basic format that most people think, why are you doing that? The same people that are saying that, the next minute they're saying, wow, that's so easy for you. Well, because I do the same thing about 1,000 times. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's literally like me just waking up in the morning saying, I gotta eat, I gotta drink, I gotta take a shower. It becomes like that once you do it enough time. It's like what Kobe Bryant said, that confidence comes from doing simple thing 1,000 times. So showing up in a court one more time is easy because you just do the same thing again. Now people saying that was amazing. Well, because he's done it so many times before, now he just showed up and do the same again without trying. And that's how you simplify stuff. So find a way to break them down into something that you know what to do from step A to B to C to D to E. Simplify them, break them down, and do them one at a time in a linear format. Don't stack stuff when you're doing them. Don't multitask. Don't do stuff in parallel. Do them one thing at a time. The more you do that, the more you realize that even rocket science, when it's broken down to its simplest format, anyone can understand it. And so can whatever it is that you're thinking about right now can be simplified to its modular format, to its basic form that you can execute one at a time. Get it done, then you move to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And once you get that done, we move to step number 3. You have to systematize them. They have to become a form of routine that you could repeat so many times without so much effort. Because effort of having to think about so many things is what stops most people from doing a lot of things that is supposed to be very simple, but since getting to that point of getting it done, of doing it, they have to go through 10 different steps. And by the time they get to step 2 of step 10, mentally they're already stressed out. They're already tired. Because you have to realize that lifting weight is not the only thing that takes a lot of your energy away. Mental stress, mental gymnastic take as much energy and sometimes way more energy than when you're lifting weight. So if you think you're not burning calories, but you are getting tired and you're not doing anything, it's because we are spending so much mental energy that's burning all the energy that we could use to live our life. This is why the third step is you have to systematize it. You have to create a routine that's cyclical, that becomes like the way you eat food. You feel like eating food, you're going to feel it. If you need to eat, you're going to feel it. If you need to drink, you're going to feel it and you just go do it. If you need to go to sleep most of the time, you just feel it and go do it. Whatever it is that you plan to do, once you make it like this into a routine that you just get up and do it. A good example for me is when I get up in the morning, I do 3 things. This used to be like a 30, 45-minute routine before, but now I just do three things. And those three things are, I get out of bed on my phone, I click on my calendar events that open an audio that start playing straight away. From there, I go straight to the kitchen, put on the kettle for the coffee. And from there, I go straight to wash my face. And that's it. And once I finish washing my face, what do? I just literally walk to the kitchen, pour the water into the coffee, and straight to the computer and start working. Before, I used to have all this routine of having to get up, meditate, stretch, then I have like a shower, have to like get ready for the day, then I have to do this, I have to do that, to do so much stuff that I have to prepare myself mentally for all those process. Then I realize they're just useless. They're making me more tired because by the time I get to the end of it, I already went through so much step. Just so complex. I spent so much time, so much mental energy going through all those motions. And at the end of the day, they're not really required because I just want to start working because I wake up very early. I wake up 2:30, 3 o'clock every single day. So for me, this makes my life so much easy. Now it's just like a routine. It doesn't matter what time I get up, what time of the year, what time of the day. It doesn't matter what day of the week of the month, or month of the year. I have the same energy when I get up. Very excited, energetic, because I know I only have to do 2, 3, 4 things. And I'm back to work. Because I already have the first one I said earlier, I have that clarity. They already simplify, and I'm executing them in the same process as I do this morning routine. It's cyclical. They're very linear and they're very basic. And I just go through them 2 minutes from my bed to my computer and I'm all done. Give this a try, they work. And once you get that in place, so you already find your clarity, you're moving along, everything is so simple. Now we move on to the next stage of it. And before we get into that, I gotta use the sonar. See in a bit. The next one, once you simplify it, now you have to find a system to use. It's like a framework. So a framework is a process in which you can do everything in your life with no stress, and that equates to systemic. Systemic way of doing things is there's like a step A, step B, step C, and D every single time. It doesn't matter if it's in the morning, nighttime, even if you give it to someone that's never read it before, they will follow the same process and get the same result. Systematization make life so much easy. So figure out whatever you're trying to do. The way you systematize is you find a pattern in it. You create a routine around it, and that routine is what you just do. Like I was saying earlier, for me, when I get up in the morning, the routine, the simplicity I created now, the routine just from my bed, I grab my phone, I click on the calendar, it open an audio automatically and it start playing. I go to the kitchen, put on the kettle, and from there, I go straight to the bathroom, wash my face, 30 seconds, and by the time I go back into the kitchen, the water is boiling, I pour it, goes through to my computer, 2 minutes, everything is all done. So that is routine. You see, the way I describe it now, anyone can do it. It's like a step A, B, C, D, E, and F. Say it to someone else. They will do exactly the same. That's simplicity and that's systemic. Systemic make life so much easier. It remove stress. You see that stress from your life, from everything you do. And one thing are simple, are clear, and they're systematized, which means they become a routine. Then that brings you to the next stage. They have to be consistent. Consistency. And we now think of something that is very clear, that is simple, that now execute in a routine. It'll be very easy for you to be consistent with it. The reason why So many people stop doing everything they are doing. So why many people fail. It doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to do. It doesn't matter what you choose to do. If you're not consistent with it, it will be very hard, very difficult for you to sustain it for a long time. This is why the consistency comes in. And the way you achieve consistency is through the 4 straight steps, which is find a clarity, so you're not confused every single time you're trying to do it. And once you find that clarity, and you simplify it. So now the simplicity is what's going to make it easy to do. Because consistency is what brings result. It's not about what you're doing. You know, at the gym like this, you could literally pick any weight. Say, for example, you're trying to lose some weight. Do enough reps, eat less enough food, you are going to lose the weight. And if you're trying to gain muscle, the same process. It doesn't matter which way you pick. When you do enough time, that it challenges your muscle. And you do them consistently. See, that's the key part, consistency. Do them consistently for enough time, enough period of time. And you go home, eat less calories. No, that's it. Eat less calories for enough amount of time. You are going to lose the weight. You are going to build a muscle. If you want to build a muscle, you eat protein and you eat everything else after that. If you want to lose weight, all you have to do is do the same thing I just did now. Eat enough protein for enough time, repeat it over and over again. And once you keep doing that, get home, eat less calories. No, that's it, less calories. You're gonna lose weight. If you want to get muscle, do the same. But push your muscle, push the limits, feel it. That's why they call it mind-muscle connection. And once you feel enough of it, well, go home and do exactly the same. Eat enough protein, then eat way more food than what you burn. Because it doesn't matter how often you go to the gym. It doesn't matter how much weight you're lifting. If those two things are not there, if you're not consistent, if you're not consistently pushing the weight and consistently going home and eating the right amount of food and the right amount of protein, you're not going to go anywhere. Same for everyone that's trying to gain shape and those who's trying to get bigger. So you just have to pick. Because you have to remember, this thing has to be sustainable. And for it to be sustainable, it's got to be easy to do. Do enough time, go home, boom, gonna get a result. The next one is to find someone to hold you accountable. You have to have in mind that for everything that you are doing in life, no matter how long you've been doing it for, no matter how great you are at doing it, no matter how easy it has become for you doing it, at some point, life is going to happen. And when life happens, what do? Well, we stress out. And when we stress out, those short period of time, that's when we have the urge. That's when we have this feeling of, is it worth it? Because at some point, when life happens, when the unexpected happens, when things we don't really plan for happen, which is bound to happen many times throughout your lifetime, when no one is holding you accountable, which is the next step, step number 5, after consistency, that on those days, when life happens and no one is holding you accountable, do you know what you are going to do? Well, statistically, over 90% of people quit. See, this is the exact reason why you have coaches. This is the exact reason why you have trainers. This is the exact reason why you have people that it is their job to hold you accountable on a day like this. It is like an insurance coverage. You do not need it 99% of the time. But the only time you need it and you don't have it, everything that you work with, everything that you've accumulated, everything that you've worked on, everything that you've put so much effort in for such a long time. It could be 1 month, it could be 1 year, it could be 10 years, it could be a lifetime. All of a sudden, because life happens, because the unplanned happens, because the unexpected happens. But when you have the insurance, you can get it all back in no time at all. The same time, when it comes to doing anything that you're trying to make sustainable, like a New Year resolution, like reinventing yourself, like learning something that you've never learned before, like doing something that you're trying to make sustainable. Once you go through the step 1, clarity, step 2, simplicity, step 3, systematize it, then step 4, that when you've been consistent, it is this accountability that's going to hold you together on a day when life just happened. Boom. That's where you have the accountability partner. And to top it up, if you don't have any of those things I mentioned earlier, coaches, trainer, people that does this professionally that you can pay for, maybe you can afford it, or maybe because you never believed in it. Well, the best form of accountability you can build for a lifetime is yourself. So when you become your own accountability partner, well, life becomes so much easier because you don't need motivation anymore. Because you become self-regulated. Because you become self-aware, both internally and externally. You don't run away from the unexpected. You plan for every eventuality while living your life every single day. That's why yourself, figure out how to do that. Become your own best accountability partner. It doesn't take away from getting someone else to get you to that place in the first place, because becoming your own accountability partner, it's not easy. It takes a lot of work. And most people are not able to do that themselves. You'll be able to do this over time, but it takes time, it takes hard work. And if you're able to get there, bravo. But if you're not, get someone else to help you along the way. It's going to make your life so much easier. And this is going to take us to the next one. The last one is everything has to compound. Because this is the key part. This is the glue that holds everything together. This is what you want to be doing in life. That everything you're doing, they have to be adding, they have to be stacking on top of each other to make you a better version of you. To be building you up so that every single thing you do, you're not actually just starting and finishing, starting and finishing, starting and finishing. So this is literally like a waste of energy and effort. And along the way, you are going to feel like, why am I doing it in the first place? Because you're going to pick this up, pick that up, you do it to the next, 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 to the next. That's very challenging when they're not connected. This is why the entire 6 steps have to work together. Number 1, clarity. Number 2, simplify. Number 3, systematize it. Number 4, stay consistent. Number 5, accountability. Hold yourself accountable or get someone to hold you accountable. Number 6, make sure they compound it. They're adding huge value. They're adding a lot to the direction in which your life goes. Because otherwise, everything you do, they will become stressful over time. They will get tiring over time because you're going to be like a see the beginning, see the end, the beginning, the end, the beginning, the end, and all this thing like a cycle. All this thing is very cyclical. And when you do something cyclical and they're not connected, they're disjointed, you're bound to stop. You're bound to get to a point in your life where you are going to say, why am I doing this in the first place? This is why they have to be going in the direction, adding value to everything that you want to do forever. This is why they have to be sustainable. And sustainability comes from something that doesn't have an end. It's a process. This is what I kept on saying. I say it many times. Everything for me personally is a process because it is what allows me to get up every single morning. I wake up very early, 2:30, 3 o'clock. Today I get up at 3 o'clock nighttime. I call it morning. Today's Saturday morning. Most people are still sleeping at that point. Even during the week, people are still sleeping. But I do that anyway. Because everything I'm doing, they compounds. This is where I get my energy from. I'm always energetic, no matter what time of the day. In the morning and night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Doesn't matter if it's winter, summer, spring. I'm exactly the same. I'm able to regulate my energy. I don't get affected by any of those because I'm self-regulated. And this is what you have to think about. And this is what you do when you think in such a way that everything is all connected. And the more of this you do, well, the more charismatic you become. The more you're going to be doing a lot of stuff in such a way that it makes your life so much easy. Everything you pick up add value to the next one. And everything comes from, first, find clarity. Number 2, simplify. Number 3, systematize it. Number 4, stay consistent. Number 5, get someone to hold you accountable or you become your ultimate accountability partner. Number 6, make sure they all compound. And when you start doing this, well, whatever it is that you choose, New Year resolution, your body goal, life goal, job goal, professional goal, whatever it is, you choose it, you apply this principle, and it's going to stick every single time. And every single time you wake up, winter, summer, spring, in the morning and nighttime, it's dark, it's rainy, it's summer, it's very cold, it's irrelevant because you know why you're doing it. And they're going to stick every single time. So when you're ready to make your New Year resolution or any other thing that you try to accomplish that you want it to stick, use those 6 steps. Apply them. Follow the steps every single time. And when you get to the end of it, pick the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And the more of this you do, you are changing, you are improving every single time. And no matter what it is that you pick, they compound, they add together. And this is the key part that you have to remember. Everything has to be added, and the more they add it, well, life becomes so much easier. I know this. Why? Well, right now, I live in a very cold country. It's very cold, it's very dark for most part of the year. And people, they get down. But it doesn't matter for me. I still get up every single day. It doesn't matter what time of the year, the whole winter, the summer, I do exactly the same. I have exactly the same mindset. I come across the same way. I wake up every single morning feeling the same. Why? Because I follow those 6 steps. Just to recap, find clarity, make it simple. You systematize it, start getting consistent with it, and when you start doing that, you get someone to hold you accountable. And finally, make sure they compound and they're adding together. You don't have to believe me. Give it a try once or twice. And come back to make your judgment. Like I said, This has been applied to so many people and it works every single time. So, before you judge it, give it a try and give it a try. For at least one goal that you have. And once you do that, come back and make your adjustment. It's the month of December. Maybe it's January time you watch this or any other time of the year. Please. So, since it's the season of Christmas, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.